chat with you today about what you can expect during the upcoming, which we're really already in, triple portal Stargate, known as the 888 Lionsgate this year, the master Stargate window, and the massive change that's going on for humanity. I'm going to chat a little bit more about this since, in general, this is a concept that's pretty far out there and pretty much unknown to most humans. I'm moving some of this stuff out of the way here because you're seeing. I didn't check I didn't check this stuff. All right, so the delay is kind of funny. I'm watching myself. Okay, so yeah, so let's talk about this. I'm excited to be here with you. I'm going to try to go live more frequently, and I'm working it into my schedule, but I think it's going to start to look like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, hopefully, if I can make this happen. It's happening today, so we're here now. Really excited to be with you, and if you're starting to see me on Facebook Live, I'm really glad that you're here. Say hello in the chat if you see and if you are able to join. And I'm sort of testing out different times and days to see how I can help the most and serve the best. So I want to share with you today about this incredible portal that's coming up. This is what happens during a portal window, is it starts to bring up shadow aspects, really dark aspects. Now, depending on how much work you've done on your own self, inner work, that means self-help, self-growth, energy healing, consciousness shifting, how much you're into your own spiritual progress, your own evolution, you will either experience this in a knowing way or an unknowing way. You will start to see it revealed to you in a more conscious way if you've done more inner work. And you will experience peaks and valleys, ebbs and flows of it. But during portal windows, what's happening, and this is a portal window, and if you don't know what a portal window is, please watch the video I just did on Saturday, and please check out my YouTube channel, and please join me at spagna.com in the newsletter. I've been sharing about this, I've been posting about this, so I don't want to repeat what I've already shared about the portal, the Lionsgate, the triple Stargate, and the Year of the Dragon, and your DNA, and how they're all linked together. But I want to help you navigate this, so I'm not going to repeat that stuff. Please check all that stuff out. It's available. It's all over my YouTube channel. It's all over my Facebook. It's all over in my newsletter in the community. And of course, this Thursday, we're doing DNA activations, and you can join us for that as well on the Lionsgate portal this Thursday. And you can join I'll put the link in below, but you can join us at spagna.com under the live events tab. But let me tell you how you're going to be affected by this personally. Whether you realize it or not, it will affect you. So what happens is the shadow aspects of what you as a soul are here to clear, heal, and resolve will begin to surface. And you'll see those patterns show up in your life. And of course, you can find them in your numerology. This is what I do for everyone in my tribe. Your nameology and your astrology and your Akashic records and your DNA. Those things are evident in all those places. So you can find it. But if you just look at your life and what's unfolding, here's the link, by the way, to join us for the Lionsgate portal. I just put it in the comments section below. If you look at your life and you start to step back and evaluate the patterns that have happened with repetition over and over again, portals, gateways, they bring those up, right? If you think portals are woo-woo, listen to what I just did 2 days ago on Saturday, or however many days ago that was. Out of time. I'm like living in no time land. But that Saturday, portals are real. They're scientifically valid. You can search it. You can learn about it. They are literally windows that transcend time and space, right? And they look like tubes in a way, or windows of, like wormholes, two holes on either, like a tube. And you move through that tube energetically, if you're able to pass through the tube. Think of this like you're veins or your veins in your body, your arteries, if those are clogged with energetic debris, calcium buildup, plaque, you can't move through. So in order to get through the portal, your calcium buildup, the plaque, the energy, which is the density that you've carried, which is any form of patterns, pain, upset, worry, doubt, grief, shame, blame, egoic, energetic inertia, egoic structure called the ego, not real, by the way, not real. It's going to come up to the surface because you're trying, as a soul, if you're listening to me, you're trying to push through that portal. And that portal is trying to pull you through, and at the same time is sending you energy, you on the other side of the portal. It's sending you energy to elevate you, to help you come through that portal. And it needs to clear out the plaque, the stuck, blocked energy. So that stuck, blocked energy is your shadow aspects, the stuff that you've been unconscious of. So the way that's going to affect you is that your shadow aspects, and I'll define that better, are going to come up to the surface for you to have to look at, for you to have to become conscious of, for you to have to recognize, this is old me. This is old stuff. This is stuck stuff. This is stuck, stored up debris. This is egoic structure. This is stuff I would identify as the ego. Most people would. I wouldn't. It's just energy. And this is the stuff that I have to leave behind, because portals, they always are asking you to leave something behind from the past that's no longer serving you, so you can pass through the portal and get, in a sense, to the other side, where you are more pure or free from that energetic debris, where you're liberated from that old, stuck, blocked, stored up energy, where you are not only feel more free, but you feel more fully alive, more wholly complete, more wonderfully joyful, more prosperous, more healthy, where overall you feel more conscious and able to create and collaborate with the infinite, the universe, the quantum field, the divine, and where you get to have the experiences that you enjoy and desire better, and where you get to have a greater impact on the world, because now you're on the other side of this portal, right? When you successfully pass through a portal, and you have now all this more elevated wisdom and consciousness and love in your heart, because you're passing through a portal that is, ultimately, it is a portal of some form of love or consciousness, which is elevation of love, joy, etc. And you're able to serve your community and your tribe in a better way and achieve your goals, dreams, and desires more fully, wholly, and completely. So the portal is, in a sense, asking you to clear, heal, and resolve those stuck, dense aspects that are the plaque that's built up in the portal that are blocking you from elevating. And those are the shadow aspects. So what's going to happen for you over the course of the month of August, and it's starting now, just barely. We haven't even reached the peak of it yet. And it will continue to ebb and flow, up and down, peak and valley, but it will be in your face in a big way. It's already starting. It will continue to crescend, up and down, but mostly be building into and through the Lion's Gate portal, which is on 888. And the job of us to do on the 888 is to clear, heal, and resolve as much as we can, and simultaneously bring in and anchor in more light, more of that new light on the other side of the portal, so to speak, into our bodies, so we can successfully navigate this portal, because the portal isn't just on 888, it's the whole month of August and into the next eclipse season cycle, which The next eclipse is in September. So you got this big window here. The 888 is just the calling. It's the gathering where we get to realize this is what this next cycle is. This is what this next phase is. And during this gathering of when we who are choosing to elevate, to expand, to up level, to grow, to evolve, to clear out our old egoic structure, the parts of our consciousness that have interfered with us living our best lives and doing our best service, making the greatest contribution, because we are visionary light leaders. Sometimes we identify as light warriors. Sometimes we're identifying as professional coaches. Sometimes we're identifying as healers. Sometimes we're identifying as starseeds or light workers, and we're almost always identifying as some form of spiritual entrepreneur or heart-centered leader. We are the light visionaries, visionary leaders. We might not even identify as a leader yet, but we know you might be a coach or a healer, and you know you've got something fabulous to offer, and you're meant to bring it through, and you want to 10x it. And of course you want to live your best life in the process. Of course you do. Of course. You know you can't do your best work here if you're not leading your best life. So if that resonates for you, then this is a calling, right? Because let me tell you, the month of August has some quite challenging aspects we're going into. Number one, we're already in a Saturn retrograde. We're already in a Pluto retrograde till the end of October. After the eclipse, that won't resolve. We're already entering into the beginning of a Mercury retrograde, which I think that starts officially on August 15th. However, we're already in the shadow period. So these retrograde planets, we're always in a north and south node retrograde. Those are always in retrograde. And we're entering into a major square between Saturn and Jupiter. So Jupiter wants expansion, wants to expand consciousness. Saturn wants to anchor in the old and wants to monitor and do it right. And sometimes it's too stuck in the old ways, but it wants to resolve karmic debt. Jupiter wants to expand, up level, grow, evolve, give gifts of wisdom, give gifts of consciousness, give healing support. So the two are at hard angle, building this month. This is going to put a lot of people into a lot of hard angle because on the one level they want to grow and the other level they don't know how to release the past. Portals are designed to help you with that. So the key is, by the way, if you're listening, because I can't tell. I know some people are here. So hello, I'm Rita. I can't really tell. So say hello in the chat. It's great to see you. I love connecting with you guys. So portals are opportunities for us to up level and transcend that. Now, something cannot be transcended if any part of our consciousness is holding on to it. And one of the ways we hold on to it is we keep thinking the same thoughts. We keep believing the same beliefs that we've had. We get stuck into our own perspectives or our own ideologies. We think that we can meditate ourselves out of it. We keep repeating the same patterns. We hang out with the same people in the same places, and I'm not suggesting to leave your people behind, but I am saying that we need to put ourselves into new environments with new people that ask us to grow, even if they might challenge us in some way, even if they might push our buttons in some cases. I'm not saying to put yourself around people who bring you down. I'm saying put yourself around people who are going to ask you to elevate, who are going to bring you to a higher level of your own consciousness, who are going to help you become the leader and the visionary that you truly are, who are going to ask you to up level and expand, not just let you stay in your comfort zone of la-di-da, love, 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 and light. Because the love and light community in and of themselves is a little trapped and stuck in their own little comfort zones. So put yourself in circumstances that are going to up level you, expand you, evolve you, challenge you in ways that are good and right and divinely aligned to become more of who you are and who you're meant to be. Because that is what portals are for, and that's what these big gateways are. Because if you just stay in your comfort zone of this feels fine, then you don't get to pass through and elevate into the portal. Not really. Not really. Because portals are going to challenge you. That's why there's these astrological planets. The planets, in truth, the planets in their consciousness serve the divine. So and they serve humanity. They serve humanity, and they serve the role that they're meant to play in God's plan for lighted creation. So the planets themselves have consciousness. So why does Saturn and Jupiter come into a hard aspect? Because they're trying to pull out the old and elevate you into the new. But this is a hard angle, which means it's going to, in a sense, energetically, through the consciousness of those two planets, it may be perceived by those of lesser consciousness that they're working against one another. But in truth, they're working together to serve you in elevating. But they create hard angles, difficult obstacles, challenges, roadblocks, and barriers for you to see. I'm saying you, but I mean all of us. To see and perceive beyond our own limitations. So this is why I said at the very onset of the call of this webinar that if we can step back and become the visionary of our own experience, right? And I close my eyes, but I mean with eyes wide open as observers, and to evaluate what patterns are showing up that are playing out that I've played before, that I'm ready to be released with and done with, or what patterns am I recognizing that are causing me some kind of angst? Because that's what squares and hard angles do. That's what retrogrades do. Squares and hard angles, and I'll talk about the eclipse season that's just around the corner. Squares and hard angles are doing that. The planets are working as part of God's plan of lighted creation to serve, support, and assist humanity in becoming more conscious by making us look at those shadow aspects where we're holding on to the past or stuck in the past or playing it safe or trying to stay in our comfort zones, and or where we truly want to grow and evolve. And it's going to hit us in different areas of our lives, depending on where we're at. I want to talk about the eclipse, but I want to just give an example. Your life and your agenda in your life has something to do with any of these themes: money, wealth, prosperity, financial, right? Which is energetic exchange, which is also linked to your self-worth and value, even though that's not the truth, because you're worthy because you exist. You matter because you're here, because you were created. That's the truth. You have value as a being because you exist here, else you would not be here. Right? But we have these false beliefs, right? False energetics. So that's a major factor there, right? And that wants to be cleared, healed, and resolved. So if that's shown up as a pattern in your life, you want to step back and look at it. It's a big deal this year for all of humanity, by the way, because we're in an 8 year, and 8 is linked into that in numerology. But let's go to the next. The other theme that will show up in your life, and because there's a lot of 2s in this year, 202, repeating issues, that's what 2 is in numerology, sacred numerology, is your relationships. And relationships are never really to another person, although they are. Relationships are ultimately to yourself, to your source, and yes, to the field of all that is, which includes other people and personalities. So that's going to be a theme. It also includes to your own body, your physical form, which is the vehicle you get to use. So if you're working through relationships and relationship issues, even if it includes your own body, that's going to come up for you as a pattern. What is the pattern that you're facing through this portal? Another one that will be a theme. By the way, under the theme of relationships is it, there's a lot of sub-themes in there. Are there relationship dynamics that involved conflict or struggle or challenge? Power struggle dynamics. You can see this with false external authorities on the planet. which is also linked to 8 and 2 in numerology. I'm just showing you because I've made an expert out of my life of seeing patterns. And I have really found all the not all, sorry. I have come to learn so many patterns and see them, and it's one of my great strengths. As a coach, as a mentor, as a guide, I can see patterns, and I understand how those patterns play out, and I understand when there's patterns, energetic patterns, in someone's life path, and that's what helps me to see and help them to clear, heal, and resolve their own blocks. This is part of what I've been doing for such a huge part of my life. And it's amazing when you clear blocks, right? So seeing your own patterns, right? And so the patterns of relationship, and there's so many themes in that, sub themes, right? So seeing your own patterns during these portal windows is going to be huge, huge. And I'm just pointing out some of the major ones. So we have relationships, relationship to your source, yourself, your body, relationship to money. We have money, worth, value as a theme. Obviously, we have health is a theme, and health can be mental health, emotional health, physical health, spiritual health, energetic health, karmic health. Why karmic health? Karmic dharmic patterns are really coming up to the surface right now. Those of us who are real light leaders, visionaries, light warriors, a lot of people use that term, that's not my favorite term, healers, coaches, guides, mentors, elevated visionaries, which that's my tribe. If you resonate with a visionary light leader, you're my tribe, right? And you have something powerful here to offer, then part of your job in elevating then becomes more conscious of this stuff and seeing the patterns. But where I was going with that was your role in this lifetime is to shift from karma to dharma. That is the elevated light leader's job in this lifetime. And you may not know it as an elevated leader, that is part of your role, to shift from karma to dharma. If that means you signed up as a soul. By the way, 11 people, you always have that. 11s, 22s, 33s, if that shows up in your life path. And 11s have the greatest potential. By the way, it'll also show up in 15s, 5s, double 5s. Anyway, I can see it in the numerology, right? I can always find it in when I do people's readings, numerology, astrology, Akashic records, DNA readings. I can see it in the same pattern. It's like the same pattern. Okay, let me stay with my point because it's so juicy. Shifting from karma to dharma, that comes up in a huge way during portals. So if you're hearing me now, and it's resonating for you, because those of us who are light leaders, visionary leaders, here to bring something new forward for humanity, something so far beyond what humanity can currently relate to. We're the visionaries, we're the light leaders, we're the ones bringing something new, anchoring it in to this physical earthly realm so that it becomes normal. And they just think, like most humans, just have light bulb moments, right? That's when we look at what we call 3D humans or everyday humans who don't know about this stuff, who are just experiencing the ripple effect or the domino effect, right? And eventually it will be the real 100th monkey effect, where everybody just instant enlightenment. But that's not really happening yet. It's part of it, right? We're getting there. But the light leaders, we're shifting from karma to dharma. So important. And this is a real challenge. It's not easy to shift from karma to dharma. It's one of the greatest gifts of our life experience. Can you give me a comment in the chat if this feels relevant for you, if you can relate to this? Because shifting from karma to dharma is the greatest gift of any soul's journey. And it's not understood. Like if you're just in the mainstream world, slaving away, it's behind a 9-to-5 job, it's probably not your calling. But if you're running your own business, solopreneur, entrepreneur, maybe you're an author, you're working on a book maybe, or several books, you've got some kind of budding YouTube channel, or you really know you have something to bring forward in a huge way. Chances are You're shifting from karma to dharma. But that shifting, yeah, Stephanie, that's so, so true. I can see it in your name too, by the way, because I know namology, even though I don't know your last name. But this is the thing. The challenges that we have to go through are clearing our own crap because we can't be carrying karmic residue anymore. Okay, that's what comes up during a major portal. That's what will elevate and intensify over the coming weeks. And this is a nice pleasant week, by the way. We're seeing a lot of earth changes going on in the physical, but in the next 2 weeks, this will start to really intensify as these planets come into the hard angles. Thanks, Stephanie. Love your comments. Love what you're sharing. That's awesome. Yeah, Reiki training is a great entry level. Like that's where I started. I love Reiki. I'm a Reiki master. And that was my first step. It's beautiful, right? Because you're here to offer that to others. You're here to help others. And in the early stages of other people's awakening, Reiki is one of the greatest gifts you can offer them. The reason it's such a great gift is because it's so gentle and it helps them to release a lot of their stuck blocked energy without them having to, they don't have to go as deep. They can lay there and receive it and you get to give. And every time you're giving that Reiki, it's moving through you and you're getting up leveled because the gift you give is the gift you receive. Always. That's beautiful. Congratulations, Stephanie. It's so awesome. I love Reiki. Yes, it's a beautiful gift. So with that said, let's just go into more of what the eclipse is going to bring forward, because so many people are really going to move through. Unconscious people will move through it unconsciously, and then they just on the other side, they just have a light bulb moment, right? And it helps them. But real soul transformation happens during these windows. So the eclipse cycle gets even more intense, and that's what's coming in September. I can do more about that going forward in the future. But what I really want to share about this is that right now we're in a little moment of peace. It's just giving us time to realize what's ahead. And it's not something to be afraid of. It's something to welcome and say, wow, I'm about to go up through a massive upleveling because I'm choosing it. Because if you're a light leader, you're choosing it. Because I came here to make a difference. I'm not going to just stay in my comfort zone. I'm going to choose to elevate. That means I'm going to have to work through some of my stuck crap and that plaque build up so that I can move through this portal period and elevate and come out the other side more of who I'm meant to be and more of what I'm meant to bring forward and more of the greatness of who I am and more of the magnificence that I'm here to share, because Earth has 8 billion, as far as we know, inhabitants. And yeah, they really are pretty stuck for the most of them. And even though in our evolving circles, it looks really nice from where we are because we're working with the light, 8 billion people, most of 8 billion people out there, they can't see it. They're really stuck and trapped. They don't know that this is going on. They still believe the false lies that they've been told by false authorities. They still believe that the only solution to their life is, illness or sickness or some kind of big P product, right? Big PHARM, you fill in the blank on that one. They still believe that their false authorities are telling them the truth. They still believe that they have no other option but to be a slave behind a desk and work miserably for their slave jobs, on and on and on, right? They still believe that their greatest enemy is another person outside of them. They don't realize that that's a reflection of themselves and their shadow, right? They still believe the external world has power over them. They still believe their allergies have power over them. They still believe that their seasickness has power over them. They still believe, right? These people are why we're here, and they still believe it's okay to harm animals. They still believe it's okay to chop down trees so fast that they don't realize they're depleting their own oxygen. They still believe it's okay to put money over others. They still believe it's okay to use rifles and kill people, and they still believe it's okay to go to war. We're here for something new, and we're here to anchor that in. Something even so much better, right? So this is the stuff that comes up during these windows. So the shadow, the light side, the dark side of humanity looks and appears to be more intense on the collective stage. And our shadow parts, those parts of us that haunt us, that have held us back, that have kept us stuck or blocked or limited, they come up too. But they're coming up for purpose and reason so that we can free and liberate ourselves from them. And between now, especially the Lion's Gate, and then the balance of August, where there's going to be these hard angles and squares, these retrograde planets, and then into the eclipse cycle. And the eclipse cycle will really say, now it's time. Are you ready to release this old stuff and anchor in more of this new? By using the Lion's Gate portal, we gain more clarity, wisdom, guidance, consciousness. We leave behind more of that density from us and the stuff that's kept us stuck and blocked in the past. So we make the navigation of it much more effortless, much more graceful. And also one other thing that's really great to do, which I didn't mention, but you guys, if you've known me, this is the stuff I do. We activate our DNA. One of the things we're going to do in this week's our DNA speed activations. Okay, I want to share this with you, and I'm going to go a little bit longer because it's so good. Is we synchronize with our other lifetimes. And that stuff is stored in the DNA. So this week I was working on it for myself and working on synchronizing with the law of synchronicity. That's a universal law. The gifts from my other lifetimes. And I became aware, I know a lot of my other lifetimes. Like I've relived them. It's very easy to access them when we start working with the DNA. But I was synchronizing with a lifetime where I lived in the 1800s in England, and I was like I have been asking about where most of my lifetimes I've been very poor, had no money, and even if I had money or wealth, it wasn't mine. So I was asking for more knowledge about another lifetime where I had wealth. And I was shown it was another lifetime where I didn't have the wealth, but I lived in a very aristocratic family and I was a caretaker. I was in the family, the daughter. I was very well cared for. I never had to earn money. I never had to work for money in that lifetime, but I was in service, right? As an aristocrat, I helped poor people and I helped less fortunate, and I did things like, bake them bread, or I didn't bake them the bread. The servants baked the bread and I brought it to the poor and distributed it. And I also took care of my elderly father who had all the money and wealth. But what was amazing was I relived it through this synchronizing of the lifetimes and calling upon a lifetime that I didn't know about where I had wealth and how to use it appropriately and how to distribute it. And I'm using that in this lifetime to help distribute wealth in all of its various forms. And that includes wealth of knowledge, of wisdom, of energy, of consciousness, of gifts, talents, abilities, of higher knowing. And so I'm repatterning that in this lifetime. But it was fascinating to be able to, just through working with my own DNA, and I've done this for people, clients, students for 20 years now, to access the knowledge and wisdom from another lifetime and to bring it forward in this lifetime. That's the stuff that can happen during portals and eclipses. That's the stuff that can happen when we work with our own DNA. So good. That's the stuff that will start to happen if you're actively engaged in this portal. And if you're using it in higher consciousness, more gifts come to you as you pass through more and more portals and as you work with this energy. If not, maybe you get a nice light bulb moment. That's nice. The question is for you to decide. How much do you want to maximize the benefits of your incarnational experience? How much do you want to maximize the benefits of your incarnational experience? I would love to hear from you. I love the comments that have come through. Like Stephanie, thank you so much for sharing. I want to know, how much do you? I really, really, please, if you're listening and this is helping you, because now I can see there's more people, which makes me really happy. Let me know. How much do you want to maximize the benefits of your incarnational experience? How much do you want to grow in this lifetime? How much do you want to evolve? And when I talk about this, I'm talking about it from the perspective of without harm or detriment to you or your body. I'm talking about it in a way without pain or suffering. Because if the soul of any person does not choose to grow or does not willingly participate, then it gets harder. It gets more challenging. It gets more difficult. That's when you start experiencing the various difficulties and struggles, health challenges, financial challenges, relationship challenges, happiness and joy challenges, money challenges, etc., because the soul is not choosing it freely, right? The soul within you, and you are a soul. You are a soul, of course. Yes, Stephanie, that's so beautiful. I want to bring heaven to earth. Yes, that's so beautiful. That is the calling for the light leader, the visionary leader. And that is what we're here for. Because humans don't know how to do that. They don't understand energy. They've lost their way. Most humans. And that's what we're here for, to help humans and animals and earth and nature and the trees. And it may sound woo-woo to some, but it's so real, because 8 billion people in the world, most of them are in some form of suffering, whether they realize it or not. It's not what we're seeing, all the like pretty pictures on Instagram. That's so not real. That's just what they want or hope to be seen. It's not even when you see a lot of people who have taken, these names like ascending grace, lotus, sky, beacon of love. Like, it's like that's what they're trying to become. And that's beautiful. That is beautiful. That is very beautiful. But there's always something behind there. And the question is like, and authenticity is just such a big part of this too. Like being truly authentic and real. So we are here to bring that. And we have to be willing to get beyond this fake, false, phony presentation. That's why the shadow aspects also get pushed up during these portals, gateways, etc. They get pushed up because we can't keep living inauthentically. We have to be the realness and the richness of who we are. So big breakthroughs ahead for humanity, for those of us willing to participate, those of us willing to really wanting to bring heaven to earth, those of us showing up as light leaders, visionary leaders, light warriors, healers, coaches, mentors, that we're here for that. And these windows are huge. So, by the way, of course, I'm going to put this in the chat again. If you haven't already joined us to register for the upcoming speed activations, right? DNA activations, it is usually a 3-hour call. And that 3-hour call, right, the first hour and a half, I'm talking about, I never repeat. I try never to repeat what I've shared already. It sort of is, it's like whatever comes in after all the pre-sharing that I'm doing even here. But we talk about the codes, the activations, the downloads, the healings that we're going to get, the things we're going to clear from the DNA. We're going to clear death codes on this one. We're going to clear the codes of the cells that are no longer, like, we're going to reactivate and strengthen telomeres. We're going to recharge our mitochondria. We're going to strengthen and infuse the immune system. But we're working with the stuff that we're meant to clear, shadow aspects, etc. But we're also going to be really working heavily, powerfully, I should say, on activating more of the crystalline body, the plasma light rays in our body, the light codes, and codes related to worthiness and deservability, including divine worthiness, self-worth, self-value, deservability, equanimity, eloquence, elegance, codes related to wealth and prosperity. These are all linked in what I've been given. I work on this for like months before the gateway. So codes related to divine wealth, divine prosperity, divine abundance, the restoration of equanimity for humanity, true equanimity for humanity, the redistribution of wealth for the masses, the templates for humanity's wealth, abundance, and prosperity. We're working on that. We're going to be anchoring it in, working through the DNA, through the bloodlines. You learn how to do it in the class. We're going to be working on evolutionary leadership codes, codes of the evolutionary leader to help more leaders bring through what we're here to bring through. The new earth leadership codes, codes of divine mastery, codes of divine elevation, codes of divine strength, codes of divine endurance, code, because this is an endurance year, year of the dragon. It's an 8 year, and we still got, the balance of this year to, codes of divine strength, because we're going to need that through these next couple of years. Codes of divine discernment, incredibly important, especially for the evolutionary leader, to know the difference between false leaders, false prophets. There's lots of them, and spiritual capitalism, which is not authentic, real, true. It is just another BS way, inauthentic expression of whatever. Those are false leaders, false prophets. And oh, by the way, I'm going to take a little slight derailment here. If anyone's watching The Serpent Queen, wow, one of the best lines in the most recent Serpent Queen program, like that's on HBO. I love those kinds of, I love those kinds of shows. And on that, the Serpent Queen, she goes to a prophet all the time, who's a true prophet, and he's like prophetizing things for her. And one of the things he says is he's advising one of her council members, one of her staff members. She's her ladies in waiting, and the lady in waiting gets counsel like to kill someone with poison, and the lady in waiting says, "Do you want me to kill someone?" And the prophet says, "You don't realize how many lives you're going to save." This is old, right? I'm not advocating killing anyone. I'm just telling you a story in a program, right? And the prophet says, "Yeah, well, if there's anything I despise, it's a false prophet." I love that. I loved it, because if there's anything I despise, it's a false prophet. But codes of divine discernment will really help you. I'm on my soapbox right now, so I apologize. Okay, we're also going to do codes of divine harmony, because we need that on Earth right now more than ever. People think they want peace, but what they really need is harmony. It's not about peace. Okay, peace is really important. I'm not poo-pooing on peace. We could do codes of divine peace too. But what we really need is divine harmony, to be able to live in harmony with one another, regardless of our perspectives, points of view, or energy. We're going to do a transmission to assist and support you in your true divine mission and purpose, and freeing and liberating you from karma and activating your dharma to achieve your divine mission and purpose. We'll be working with pure and perfect crystalline DNA activations, which we always do, which includes 12-stranded Christ DNA, crystalline consciousness DNA activation, and the Christos DNA activation. We're also going to be clearing a lot of other stuff that I mentioned already, also including struggle, overworking, slave driver, burnout, overgiving, under-receiving, prostitute, working for money, not joy, clearing, healing, and resolving issues related to unworthiness, lack, limitation, poverty, uselessness, false entitlement, and a lack of gratitude. And we're also going to be clearing old issues related to hopelessness and helplessness. Big stuff. We do a lot. I'm adding one thing right now in these DNA activation webinars. So I hope you'll come and join us. It's very, very powerful, very, very effective. I have been going for a long time now, but I want to say thank you to you guys who listened, and especially to you, Stephanie Dawn. I'm just so grateful for your comments and your sharing. I love, love, love interacting with people, and it's fun for me to be able to just pop in and share without a whole lot of I just get to pop in and share, because I'm always inspired to share this stuff, and I love it so much, and I don't always have time to announce it. So here I am sharing. I hope you will join me. I'll put the link one more time. I think it's in there already, but I keep posting it in there, and somehow I don't know. I don't see it. But I want to thank you guys. I'm going to sign off for now. I hope you will join me for the next Speed Activations, DNA Activations call. It's on 888, the Lions portal. And this is where light leaders and light visionaries really elevate and up level, pass through these portals with incredible ease, grace, benevolence, joy, peace, and harmony, without all the pain and suffering. And we release that old crap and we elevate into the truth of who we truly are, who we're truly meant to be. Oh, did I drop out there? I hope I didn't drop out. I don't know. Sometimes it looks like it's still working all this time. All right. But I'm going to sign off. And I am sending you so much love. Stephanie, I just want to say, I remember you and Lucia Brown from years ago. Lucia? I think maybe you're talking about Lucia. I don't know. Lucia Brown. Drop me a DM and let me know, because I'm not sure. But I wanted to say so much gratitude and love to you. Thank you guys for being here. Stephanie, thanks for all your feedback and comments. You know, it's really helpful to have. People don't realize, like, sharing is caring. Giving and commenting is love. And I'm out here like sharing. So share this video if you found it helpful. And sharing is caring and commenting is love. It's an expression of love and gratitude, right? It helps the algorithms. It helps me know that it's resonating and landing. And if it didn't resonate and you want something else, like DM me, let me know what you want more of, because I'm going to pop in here as often as I can, like at least 2 or 3 times a week if I can. And just do sharing is caring and giving is love. And giving and sharing are the fastest routes to joy. So when you make comments, when you share, it helps. It's spreading the love. It's spreading the joy. And help me to know more of what you want to hear more about, so I can share more of that for you on the Facebook Lives. All right, you guys, I'm going to sign off for now. Thank you again so much for being here. And I'm just sending you so much love and wishing you your most benevolent best always, and hoping to see you for the Lionsgate Speed Activations, DNA Activations webinar that I'm doing on Thursday, the 8th, this week, 4 p.m. Eastern. And join me using the link that I put in there below. Hope to see you there. Sending you so much love. Farewell for now. Bye-bye.